Welcome, everybody, to another exciting episode. Today, we're going to talk about, well, I don't have to tell you what we're going to talk about. It's pretty much implied unless you live under a rock. But, some very exciting news from my perspective, I guess. And I don't say this lightly. I don't mean to gloat at anybody that's been hurt by the recent price action for HEX on Ethereum. But things have played out the way I thought they would. And Richard Hart has clarified which HEX is the better HEX. And we're going to do a deep dive into that. I think we're going to read the tweet. We're going to break down the tweet. And then we're also going to talk about the way forward, so everything like that. Very exciting times. The price action is very good. There's also a lot of very good news, coming from this ecosystem, from what we see on chain and also from, what we see on social media and things like that and what we see on the charts. So I want to talk about all of it because it's been a while. Haven't been on here in probably 2 weeks. So hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and share it everywhere. So while people get in, I want to get right to it. Let's just take a look at your comments, see what you guys are saying. And then I'm open to having guests also. If you want to come on, maybe towards the end of the stream, we can do that. It's nice to be back, guys. It's nice to be back here. So what's up? Going back to the beginning, X Periscope, finally off with HEX, Crypto Bear, what's up? We'll talk about all that. Ted Cash, one of my first fans. Appreciate you, Ted Cash. Thank you for tuning in. Distorto, what's up? Haven't seen you. New face. Remember when he came on here? Super adamant about parity. Okay, we'll get into that, okay? Not me. What's going on? Thank you, Keo Metal fan. Fang Fok, what's going on? Big shout out to Fang Fok. He's had my back for a long time. Chris A, what's up? Has Godwell started using ESing? I don't think so. I don't know. I think not. Crypto Bendu, what's up? Who else is there? Mr. Solano, what's up? ETH gas fees won't be high forever. HEX will be back. We'll talk about that. I was actually in a Twitter space, and people were saying how HEX, you're going to get a massive payout from the emergency end stakes from this news. I retweeted that space, so you guys could all check it out if you haven't. Give me 1 second. So yeah, guys, check it out. It's retweeted. I'm in there briefly. I had to leave in the middle, but it's some good stuff. And who else is there? Chris A. A lot of Chris A. Ivan on Tag will be very happy. Ivan on Tag actually did say, sort of took my side, I guess you could say. It was interesting. Miri Palermo, what's up? What an amazing day. Finally, the big man made everything extremely clear. We live on Pulsechain now, but unfortunately, all the retarded EX maxis will continue to double down and wreck new people. Interesting. We'll talk about it. Appreciate you. Alfonso, thank God for Pulsechain. Finally, I can actually use HEX as it was supposed to be used without being slaughtered by fees on Ethereum. Yeah, that's true. Mike Go, what's up? Mike Go is a patron, and he was in the meeting this morning. You too could be a patron and be in the Sunday meeting. Links in the description. Also access to courses, trades, all the good stuff. Check it out. Appreciate you, Mike. Nico Van Basten, congratulations, all of us to Furu and all of us who actually been able to use our brains since the fork happened. Just sad to see how so many OGs wrecked all the new people by shilling their HEX bags. Some influencers were, John Holmes, what's up? Some influencers were complaining about insane Ethereum fees, but in the same sentence, they were shilling their HEX bags. That just shows how, okay. Appreciate your comment. Labrita, that will create much bigger green candles, and that will create insane FOMO, hence more profit. Yeah. Who else is here? Chad Donner Schwans, what's going on? The Schwans of House Donner has entered to chat. Feels good to be back. Yeah, it's great to have you. And Money Gang Crypto. Big shout out to Money Gang Crypto. Oh, he gave me a shout out in this morning's video he posted. He's been killing it with on-chain stuff. So, yeah, big shout out to Money Gang Crypto. You guys subscribe to Money Gang Crypto? Probably, but if you're not, you should be. Rika Ramon, what's up? Davis, what's up? What's up, Davis? Davey, missed you. Missed you too. A lot of messages get deleted. Sorry. What's up? HEX is a meme. Oh, B-Roots was on that. Amanda Corral, what's up? Thank you. Crypto Bendu. Richard Hart nukes HEX, caused too many liquidity walls, sell pressure, and wants for the. We'll talk about it. Enrique Ramon, what's up? By splitting the monetary energy 50-50, we'll talk about it. Appreciate you tuning in. Let's get after it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, guys, 116 people watching. So hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you guys don't remember, there was the fork, the Pulsechain fork, and there was a big question about HEX on Ethereum. A lot of people were for it, and some people were against it. I think most people, at least most people in the public eye, were for it. Some people, including myself, were against it for various reasons, and you can do your research, and I can't go through all of it. But that was something that made me a very controversial figure, to say the least. There were a lot of OGs that were big fans of the stream, and when I took that position, it definitely hurt the clout. It hurt sort of my status, but nevertheless, I took the position. And let's just take a look at what happened today, because, when Pulsechain launched, the ratios started going in my favor. People were thinking parity. I said no parity. I said they'd continue to separate. And that happened. And even Richard Hart sort of alluded to, hey, it looks like the community has decided that HEX on Pulsechain is the better HEX. He didn't really say it straight up. So there was always sort of that room, that wiggle room, to still say that HEX on Ethereum was legitimate and HEX on Ethereum will do as well as HEX on Pulsechain. It may even do better. Who knows? Like, a lot of people out there were saying that HEX on Ethereum was actually the better play for various reasons. And we don't have to get into it. So there were a lot of fights. I know I had debates on this stream and on other streams with a lot of prominent people, and I did take them down because, I don't think it was good. The whole fighting thing. I don't think it was good for the community and stuff like that. And I made my point, obviously, but now Richard Hart has really, really clarified things, and the charts have reacted. So let's just get into the clarification. Okay. So this was Richard Hart's tweet. I was like shocked. I was like starting my Patreon meeting, and I turn on my Twitter and I see this. I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay. So this was pretty crazy. Richard Hart said, HEX is much better than EHEX, meaning HEX on Pulsechain is much better than HEX on Ethereum. Why? Gas fees, liquidity, slippage, common sense. Why would you pay $1,000 to end stake instead of pennies? Why would you want crappier order execution buying into thinner order books with more slippage, getting less for your money? And the same applies if you sold. How are you saving people from gas fees if they have to end stake on 2 chains instead of 1? Every start stake, end stake, or swap on the Ethereum chain robs users of their money because of the abusively expensive gas fees, and the real bull run hasn't even started. Okay, so that was something that I've been saying, and Richard has been alluding to, but he hasn't said it this flagrantly. But it's pretty crazy that he's said it this flagrantly. I really did not think he'd do that. But then he says that money would have went to HEX network participants instead of ETH validators. What if all new buyers chose HEX instead of EHEX? What if all new buyers chose HEX instead of splitting their energy? Another thing that I talked about, the splitting the economic energy, right? So, if people are buying HEX and EHEX 50-50, then that's not good for either chart. And we all know that the chart is really the only thing that matters. Ultimately, how much you realize when you cash out. I've told you this before, but likely some of you don't listen so well. It's pretty harsh words. So I'm telling you again, HEX is the HEX on Pulsechain. The only part that sucks about saying this is that while I told you that you should be very careful about selling from one chain to the other, because if you choose wrong, the market will punish you. Okay. The only part that sucks about saying this is that I told you that you should be very careful about selling one chain for the other, because if you choose wrong, the market will punish you. Probably some people chose wrong. Pulsechain was invented to make the world a better place, and it is. Some strong words to some people from Richard, and a lot of people didn't take it lightly. Then he said everyone's stakes made before the Pulsechain fork came over for free in the fork. Not just the unstaked HEX. Every pre-fork Hexagon that made no decision at all has all their free HEX and HEX stakes on Pulsechain. HEX is worth lots more than EHEX when you got it for free. Report the imposters. And then he goes on to actually post a video of him basically saying every single time he basically said that HEX on Pulsechain is the play. And a lot of people are upset. Like, oh, how come Richard is telling us this now? Why didn't he say this earlier? It's like he kind of did, but people didn't listen. People thought they knew otherwise. People misinterpreted. People let their bias get in the way. They didn't want to accept the fact that all their money on Ethereum is not going to do as well. Probably won't do well. I could play the clip for you if you guys want. Do you guys want me to play the clip? I'll have to unshare my screen and then reshare it, but it's kind of worth it, to be honest, because I like to, take all the credit for being right and whatever, but the truth is that Richard really has been sort of saying it, and a lot of other people have been saying it. One person that pretty much nailed it on the day of, right when Pulsechain was going to launch was a Motley investor. Let me just see if I could find the thread, which I actually read publicly when I was taking all the criticism, and I retweeted it saying, I'm not a monster, I'm just ahead of the curve, because he made all these points and he laid it out in the most clear and concise and chronological order, one point building on top of the other. And it took a lot of time. It took a lot of effort. And he really kind of just did it for you because he knew already, and he didn't have to tell you. He didn't have to absorb all this criticism and all this hatred. But he did do it, and he did it because he thought it was the right thing. So it's incredibly admirable what he did. He used to be regularly streaming. He has stepped back from that for whatever reason, and he's missed. But it was all laid out. It was all laid out here. It's in the name itself. Richard Hart chose HEX and not EHEX. Richard Hart specifically said that in his thread. He said Pulsechain is the life raft, from the Hefty fees on Ethereum, which is what Richard Hart just said. Ethereum is broken, along with anything built on it. Let me pose. Then he goes on to completely dismantle the whole parity argument. He talks about creating split buy pressure, which is what Richard just tweeted about. This is unbelievable. It's almost like prophetic. And I really suggest. How do I share this? I suggest you guys look at this if you haven't already. Share, copy link, putting it in the chat. This was an unbelievable thread, and this was part of my inspiration. And I've learned a ton from him. Like when I first came into the ecosystem, I didn't know much about this, so this was really unbelievable, and big kudos to him. But the overall point is like the writing was on the wall, and people could have listened, but they didn't. And, you know, a lot of people went out on a limb to sort of emphasize this. And what happened once Richard announced that? I mean, the charts reacted. So if you look at first of all, congratulations to everyone that's been accumulating HEX on Pulsechain, which I've been in a not financial advice way to telling you to do since it was below a penny. But if you look at, that's HEX on Ethereum. Everyone's basically ran for the life draft. The Titanic sank. Okay, the Titanic sank, and everybody was running out, and there just weren't enough lifeboats. So you should have listened to Motley Investor when he told you. It's sort of like Noah's Ark. And I made sort of a cartoon about Noah's Ark, like showing me screaming, you know, about the ark, pacing myself in, and then everyone's like laughing at Noah. But guess what? The storm came, and everybody that listened, you know, got out and did fine, and everyone that didn't, and everyone that accumulated only HEX on Ethereum, unfortunately, is not in a good position. Hopefully, you were buying Pulse and PulseX and everything else like that, but definitely you're not in the optimal position because, I mean, the chart speaks for itself. So why did Richard Hart do this all of a sudden? You know, that's for the first question is, why did he do it? It's true. He said it before. Everything that he mentioned in this tweet, he really said previously, as displayed in the videos. And, you know, that's where I've gotten what I've said. I just sort of said it more flagrantly. So why so flagrantly now? We don't know. You'd have to ask him. But if I could speculate, my speculation would be is that a lot of people didn't take the message. And you look at Pulsechain and PulseX, they were pumping more, and Inc was pumping more because they didn't have the split buy pressure, which, you know, clearly was hurting the price, as seen by the fact that once he clarified, the price of HEX went up. It decorrelated. So that was a big reason. Another reason is the whole 2HEX thing is really just making everything a lot more complicated, you know, to onboard people into Pulsechain, as displayed by Martini Guy. Martini Guy, in one of his previous tweets, Martini Guy is one of the biggest crypto influencers on Twitter and on YouTube. In one of his previous tweets, he said, I think that HEX is going to go to the moon because Richard Hart's going to pump it. And then he shows a screenshot of which chart? The wrong chart. He shows it. He didn't even get the message that there were 2 hexes. So, you know, he was sort of unintentionally misleading all of his audience. And his audience is very big. BitBoy Crypto just did a video of the HEX price prediction, and he did it for EHEX. Okay. And he just learned, he mentioned he just learned that there are 2 hexes that are out there. He didn't even know he thought there was 1. He didn't even know there were 2. So he was likely buying the wrong one. So he tried to tell, he tried to, you know, ease people into it, but they didn't listen. So he sort of just laid down the law. I mean, that's really the way I see it. And was it successful? I don't know. Let's look at Martini Guy's Twitter right after that happened. I think I have it. Yeah. So I tried bridging my HEX over to Pulse, and now it's gone. What do? I did the bridge part, but then it said claim the HEX on Pulsechain, but populated in the claim field 0. Still gone. So I think that he's looking at the PHEX balance, he has to put in the bridged hex thing to my speculation. Oh, he said it was fixed. Okay, perfect. Okay, they helped him. It's fixed. But the point is, the second that Richard Hart finally laid down the law, Martini guy got to it. And that's actually like an interesting analogy, because when I think about like the biggest hurdle, like people want to say the biggest hurdle for onboarding and making HEX go to the moon is it's not a seamless integration. You know, you can't go into Coinbase and buy HEX, and people just don't want to do it. Well, guess what? Like when you make it clear that it's your only option is you have to use the bridge, people learn and they learn fast. And that was also displayed by Uniswap with the adoption of HEX in its original days. Like nobody knew how to use the decentralized exchange, myself included. So people saw HEX wasn't on Binance, they didn't buy it. Oh, but what happens when the price starts going up? You know, and you see all these Hexicans doing the HEX flex. Well, what happens? People learned fast. So what I'm saying is, all it takes is a little bit of tweet and a little bit of price action, a little bit of Richard Hart, tweets and a little bit of price action. And despite all of the lack of centralized exchange access for HEX, despite that, people will learn fast. Okay, that's how it works. So yeah, it would be better if HEX was listed on Binance and Coinbase, but I don't think it's a problem. And I think it will get listed, but only after the price moves, which I think it will. So where are we now, guys? First of all, 205 people watching. So I hope you're subscribed to the channel. I hope you're subscribed, and I hope you like the video, and hope you share it everywhere, okay? Haven't had this sort of audience in a while. It makes me sort of want to stream more. Where are we now? Well, what were the main concerns for HEX? One of them was the SEC thing. The SEC led to a massive nosedive in the chart, and everyone thought it was over from them. The SEC wouldn't let it go up. So that's one. Let's list them. One is SEC. Two, I was writing it on my hand. Two, what was the second one? Richard Hart is hiding. So Richard Hart, RH, I don't have paper, is hiding. Okay? He was gone. It's over. Richard is never coming back. Three, SAC money. SAC money. SAC money. Richard took the SAC money. It wasn't going to be reinvested into the ecosystem. No expectation of profits from the work of others. You guys are just left to dry. That was three. Another one. Split buy pressure. That was another concern. Buy pressure. These were like the major hurdles. These were like the major things that people were saying, it's over, okay? No more HEX, okay? Another one. Gatekeeping. Gatekeeping. Okay. Anything else? Leave it in the comments. I'll give you a second. Please hit the like button and subscribe. I deserve your subscription. Okay, I think that's it. I think I covered all of it. I hope I don't forget something. SEC. Turns out, so let's see. The SEC, Richard Hart, the SEC is going to ruin it for Richard Hart. Turns out Binance is getting sued by the SEC. CZ, like all the biggest names in crypto are getting sued. Who does? Brian Armstrong, Coinbase, getting in trouble with SEC. Every single legitimate institution in crypto. Rate hikes. Okay. Rate hikes, recession. We're going into a recession. Okay. We're going into a recession, and crypto's like going down forever, right? Because the Fed raised rates. Okay, great. I think we have it all covered. That was the macro. Okay. SEC. Everyone's getting sued by the SEC. XRP, Coinbase, Binance. If you are not being sued by the SEC right now, something's wrong with you. You're not doing it right. Okay. SEC done. Okay, this is my list. My list of the grievances from the fudders. Okay. SEC, check. Richard Hart hiding. Richard Hart is not hiding anymore. Richard Hart came out with a defense and a motion to dismiss, and a legal team with very fine lawyers. I heard one of them worked with Elon Musk. Is Richard Hart hiding anymore? No, he's not. He's posted videos, and he is fighting it publicly. Great. Richard Hart's hiding, not a problem. SAC money. It's on the chain. Just go to Money Gain Crypto's channel or follow. What's the guy's name? He's been really. He deserves a shout out. It's like Story, whatever his name is. Oh, Martin at storyteller_17 on Twitter. The SAC money has been bridged in. It's buying and it's also earning yield in DeFi. So you sort of have this endless cash flow like from DeFi, which could be used to buy back these funds and pump the price. So SAC money, not true. Money's moved. Oh, split buy pressure. I think that's been clarified today. Split buy pressure is not a problem. What else is there? Oh, gatekeeping. Not an issue anymore. Martini guy, Ivan on tech. BitBoy is like head over heels over HEX. Thinks it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. And by sliced bread, I mean Bencoin. There's a coalition though. There's a coalition with Bencoin. Okay, so pretty much every influencer is talking about it, except for like losers who we're not going to talk about because it's beneath us. It's over, dude. There's no more gatekeeping. Gatekeeping is not even a thing anymore. I don't even know what gatekeeping means. And the macros. Well, guess what? Inflation. Inflation's coming down. Who said inflation was going to come down? Me. One of my first videos talked about inflation coming down. And what happens when inflation comes down? The Fed lowers their interest rates, right? That's how it works, right? The Fed goes risk on again. They're dovish. Whatever. You guys heard it like 1,000 times. Does that mean that you have to wait till the Fed lowers the interest rates in order to go long? No. Why? Because the market is forward thinking. The market goes up in anticipation for the rate hikes getting lowered. Now, why did inflation go down? Oh, well, guess what? Who told you inflation would go down? Me. Why? Everyone was saying, oh, the Fed prints money. Fed prints money, so therefore, they print so much money, it's just going to lead to 10 million% inflation and Great Depression because of rate hikes. No, because when prices go up, people spend less. It's not solely the circulating supply of the money that drives inflation. It is the velocity of the money. And if people aren't spending because prices are too high, then inflation cools off. Right? So yeah, and if you're a hexagon, you should know that because HEX has inflation, but the inflation has no velocity because it's staked, which is what leads to price appreciation. So even though HEX had its biggest inflation in its early years, it has its biggest price action in its early years because the inflation is deferred. And Richard Hart talked about this. So you guys should know that. 255 people watching, like and subscribe. So yeah. So what's happened as a result of this? Let's look at the price chart. It's been doing pretty well in these past couple of months. Just look. Everything, all of your FUD, okay? All of your FUD, all of the reasons which you doubted are gone. It's done. It's null and void. It's been disproven one by one, okay? So and Bitcoin is at $270,000, almost $70,000. It's at all-time highs. It's surpassed its all-time highs twice, and it's staying there. So crypto is clearly coming back. So all that's left to do is just wait. Okay, I mean, wait, accumulate, dollar cost average. Probably HEX, maybe not the best idea, but HEX on Pulsechain, PulseX. Okay, like that's all that's left to do. Okay, so just ignore the FUD and just enjoy the ride, and I'll be with you every step of the way. Okay, so it's good to know you sat through all of it. Hopefully, I hope none of you guys got suckered into any of these things and sold. But if you didn't and you accumulated, congratulations. So what's going to happen over these next couple months, in my opinion, the way I see it? This is not financial advice, so do your own research and go. If you want financial advice, go to financial advisor. The price is likely going to go up, as the prophecy says. The prophecy of the 4-year cycle says, the Bitcoin halving is coming up, and then Bitcoin goes up, and then the economic energy, it rolls down into the altcoins, and then the altcoins, they have the thinner liquidity, so they go up more, and hopefully get rich. That is the vision over these next couple of months, over the next year, likely. So we could speculate exactly the time frame, but it's clear that it's coming up. And all you have to do is sit on your hands. So that is what's happening. So congratulations. And if you're a HEX influencer, then you have a big time ahead of you. Remember, you represent the HEX community, okay? So conduct yourself in a respectable way, okay? Be professional. Because it's not last bull market where it's just a bunch of, I don't want to speak badly, but I'm saying like it was more of a, degen sort of run where it was like, I'm saying it's the gatekeeping's gone, and a lot of people with a lot of money, a lot of serious people are looking at it now. And we should hold ourselves to a higher standard. You see, look how I'm dressing, okay? This is because I represent the HEX community, right? And I'm trying not to curse. I'm trying not to talk badly about people. No infighting. I represent the HEX community, right? It's like what Herb Brooks said in Miracle. Take a good look at the front of your jersey, because it's worth it means a hell of a lot more than in the back or whatever. Okay. And you see Richard Hart, he's not doing outreach marketing. He knows this. It's unspoken, but he knows it. He's being humble. We should also not do outreach marketing. We have to present ourselves in a good way. I think that's important. That's what we're doing. So yeah, I mean, I could have, first of all, yeah, I want to thank all the people that stood by me. I think there are a lot of things that I did that were, I stand by everything that I said, but there were a lot of things, all the facts, but, it was a learning curve for me. I made a little more drama than I should have, and I apologize. But I want to thank the people that stood by me. So, a lot of influencers, probably Motley Investor, Wendy's for Tendies. These guys are great. I hope they come on the stream. There's also Brizology. It's been absolutely incredible. T-Bird. I don't want to forget any names, but there were a lot of people throughout this thing that were really. Oh, Crypto Vince. Big shout out to Crypto Vince. He's been low key lately, but he was really amazing. So I thank everyone that stood by me. Brizology was the most. Brizology, I was bad mouthing, and Brizology comes on the stream and he's like, "Yeah, let's go, let's get it." It wasn't even Twitter support. Brizology, I appreciate it. Appreciate Ben Dubard. I appreciate everyone. Oh, Brandon B. I know he's getting a little bit of heat for the single-sided staking, but he was really good, so I do appreciate it. And then there's the OGs that were very critical of me. A lot of them blocked me, and it's I was thinking should I use this? The first reaction is I have to stick it to them. Now's my time. That's what I was doing until now. But then I realized, that's just, remember what I said, big people are watching. We have to conduct ourselves in a very professional manner. We have to appeal saying, Richard Hart laid down the law. You know, if you didn't get the message now, then you're wrecked. And if you don't get it in the future, then it's your fault. You know, like, and most of these OGs already got the message. So, like, me just rubbing it in, it's just me being selfish. And guess what? It's a horrible look for the community. You know, all this infighting. It's a terrible look. So I'd like to think if the shoe were if the tables were turned, they'd do the same thing. I don't know, but I don't care because frankly, it doesn't matter. They're not. It's time for us to unite as a community. Like I said, the FUD is gone. It's all gone. I have to make this clearer. It's all gone. All the things that people were worried about, it's not that. This is ours to lose now. If we go out there and just hate on each other, constant, you know, back and forth and bad mouthing, then we burn the house down. Okay. And why would I want to hurt anyone at this point? You know, a lot of people, first of all, I said a lot of disrespectful things, and I actually apologize on Hexologist's stream. I sent him a super chat because I think he never even like called me out. I mean, he blocked me and whatever. I was disrespectful, and I apologized. So that's that. And also, yeah, these OGs that we like to badmouth, they're the reason for this stream being where it is in the first place. Okay, like the OGs created this community that we have prospered from. And I'm grateful for what the OGs have done. And I hope that they get with the program as far as EX, and many of them already have, but that's their decision. And I'm not going to badmouth them. I was watching Hexologist. He had like 700 concurrent viewers. You want to disparage people with that sort of influence, you know, from making videos? How's that good for us? It's not, okay? Same thing goes with Johnny Chaos. Like, Johnny Chaos should live and be well. Whatever, I'm saying Johnny Chaos is like brilliant. Like, you want him here. And hopefully he'll change his mind, but also that's his decision. And honestly, I was looking back on those streams I had with him, and I was thinking to myself, I miss Johnny Chaos. So I hope he comes around, but it's his decision. And I hope he comes back on my stream. We don't have to talk about any of the EXPX stuff. We can talk about the 95% of stuff we agree on. And I hope I want to, you know, these people get a lot of attention. I get a lot of attention. I want to be a part of it. It's a great community. It's a great, great community. And the future is really good. Remember, okay? So the infighting is over. It's over. It's done. Okay? It's over. Richard Hart made his point, and I think we know where to go. And I hope that that a lot of these people unblock me, and I have no bad feelings. And I'm sorry if I hurt anyone's feelings. I never meant to. I just get very passionate. And I learned my lesson. So that's really the overall message from this stream. The overall message is that the FUD is gone. Okay. The OGs have done a tremendous amount of, they brought this community where it is, and they have my respect, and I hope that I have their respect. I hope that at least one day I could earn their respect. I think they're great. You don't want them disparaged. You don't want these people to feel like they're constantly getting bombarded and they should just walk away. That's bad, okay? We want them to be part of it, irrespective of their opinion on HEX. But I think most of them will come around because Richard carries so much influence. But irrespective of that, the infighting has to stop. Like I said, big people are watching, and the future is bright. It's really for us to mess up and to take shots at anyone or to rub it in. That would be selfish, and that would come, you know, that would be basically, you know, me doing what's good for my ego at the expense of you guys and your bags and entire community and stuff like that. And they're great people, okay? Had great experiences with them, to be honest. Really fun. So now's the time to heal Now's the time to move forward. Hopefully, you got the message about the HEX on Pulsechain being the apex, the no second best. But the future is awesome. I love it. Okay. It's all gone. This is like really good. Okay. I don't want to hear you guys crying to Richard. Oh, Richard this, Richard that. Retarded. Okay. It's all gone. He's put everything on a silver platter for you. Be grateful. And I think over the next couple months you will be. Another interesting thing was that I was on the Twitter space and like people were saying, "Oh yeah, but the HEX yield." Just remember, I can't make predictions, but yeah, everyone's emergency ad staking, so the rewards are higher, but the price tanked. So your realized US dollar value at maturity probably not going to be so high, at least relative to just staking HEX on Pulsechain. But I don't want to even get into that. It just feels okay? Feels okay? HEX on Pulsechain is the way to go. So yeah, 365 people watching this stream. I appreciate you all tuning in. I hope you all click the like button and subscribe to the channel. You can also check out my Patreon. But if you don't want to be in the Patreon, you have to follow me on Twitter. Okay? And now it's time for the comment section. This was really fun. And it came out well. I wasn't sure if like my words would come out well. I think they came out well. I think it sent a good message. I think we have to unite. I think that the community is very, we should be very happy about the future here. All the FUD is gone. Unbelievable. And congratulations. Go take yourself out to dinner, buy a drink, or I don't know, at least get some ice cream if you're on a budget. You deserve it because this year was hell. It was really bad, and you guys made it out the other side. So big shout out to you. Big shout out to everyone, irrespective of your opinion. And I know Briz was here. I'm gonna send him an invite. See if he wants to hop in. It's up to him. Haven't had him in a while, so. Oh, you know. Also, I only send one to Money Gang. No pressure, but I see on my DMs, and I did want to have you on. So, yeah, I'll give you guys a minute. You know, we could talk more if we get any guests, and we definitely can read your chats. What's up? Chris A. I just started a week break from work today. An extra great day. Awesome. Mother's Day in England. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, chap. Appreciate that. We love our mothers out there. And big shout out. My father's birthday. So happy birthday to him. I love you, Dad. He's great to me. So put up with all my garbage. Yeah, you guys think this is bad. Should have seen what I did at home. The camera wasn't on. As a kid. Cares about the rewards and the price of HEX going straight down. I mean, that's sort of what I said. Nico Van Basten says, yes, the OGs made the community. Unfortunately, now they're starting by splitting our rich. This is not true. Most of them are coming around, and they're entitled to their opinion. Again, do you see the following that they have? Like, and they earned it. They earned every last one of it. Like, even if they think negative, we have to stop putting down the OGs. It's over. The war's over. The war is over. Take a shower and shine your shoes. Go home. Like, the OGs, they're not going anywhere, okay? You have to respect them. You have to respect the OGs. And we have an OG here.
Hey, buddy. How's it going?
Oh, it's going really well, man. How are you?
Doing good. Congratulations on the validation.
Congratulations to you, man. You were right there next to me.
There we go. Gotta get those eyes open. So, yeah, no, it feels good to me because I've been having people for like the last 10 months gaslight me, telling me because I speak so slow I'm retarded. And I'm just like, and now I'm like, no, my thought process has been 100% in line with the founder.
Great
So
minds think alike.
yeah, so I feel validated,
If
especially
people
with,
call you slow, but you bought Hex on day one, that doesn't sound so slow to me.
yes, right, baby, quick hands.
I mean, let me get
But
slow all the way to the bank. Walk slowly.
Giovanni Lopez says that Briz is the real top G for going in on ink at the bottom.
He did. He
Oh
did.
yeah, I forgot
He did go in on ink at the bottom.
we got an ink hater on stream, don't we?
He
Hmm.
did. He did. He did go on ink on the bottom. I'm not gonna. He did do that.
That was also a pretty good call of mine, I guess. I don't know. I'm just all I'm doing is I'm betting on Richard Hart. It's as really as simple as that. I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know what the fuck ink does. It's made by Richard Hart. All right, I'll
Fair
buy
enough.
it.
It's fair enough. It's just like, dude, what's the you got in early on everything? Bitcoin, Hex,
Litecoin.
Litecoin.
I
Were
bought
you on,
I bought thousands of Litecoin at $1.35.
were you on the ETH ICO? Whoa.
Yeah.
You did ETH
No,
on day one?
I slept on ETH.
Okay.
I was like, I looked at it. I remember standing in my living room. I can still picture myself. I was standing in my living room. I'm looking at my smartphone. I'm looking at the price of Ethereum,
Oh damn.
and it's 90 cents.
Oh my
And
god.
I'm thinking, man, I should buy like 1,000 of these. But then I started thinking, I'm like, I have no idea what the hell a smart contract is for or what it can do. Like, if I ask the guy to mow my lawn and he doesn't, how does the smart contract on the blockchain, like, how's that going to do it? I got to click like a button, and then what's the difference between a smart contract and an old paper contract? I'm like, I don't under what the hell can I do with a smart contract? Then I started trolling people online. I'm all, because they're all, oh, Ethereum's so great. Ethereum's so. I'm all, what's your favorite smart contract? And they're just like, shut up. There was no smart contracts. There was nothing to do with it. Like the first thing that I remember doing with Ethereum or that anyone could do was like crypto kitties. I'm
Oh, they
like,
have that. Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's kind of neat, but whatever. So I totally slept on Ethereum, and then after it exploded in 2017, I said never again. I'm not gonna sleep on these like assets that can just perform just crazy numbers. And that's when I got into the Neo coin and I aped into that thing hardcore at $30. And then in 2017 that went up to like $190 and I thought I was a genius. And then I wrote it all the way back down to like $10.
Oh my god.
And then I threw whatever was left into Hex. So that's my story.
Worked out pretty well. Oh, and then you also got in on you made the right decision on PX. When someone keeps on being right, I mean, it's
I know, man. It sucks being way ahead of the curve, though.
it's
'Cause
true.
everyone calls you an idiot. Everyone doubts you. But
Yeah.
you know what? It pays off in the end. But it's hard. It's hard being an early adopter. I mean,
Yeah.
could you
Well, how about this
imagine?
last
So
how
I was
about
just
this
gonna say,
last
could you
year?
imagine buying the first versions of the telephone? And you're like, hello, operator? Hello, operator. Can you connect me?
It's kind of, yeah. kind of like the bridge. And guys, hit the like button, subscribe, okay? Subscribe to the channel. Follow Brizology on Twitter. It's the best memes in the game. At
Best
Brizology.
memes in the game.
Wait, tell me about, was this, these past 2 years, was it the hardest bear market in crypto that you've experienced? Because it's been bad.
It's been really bad for me because I've been watching. Well, I've always watched it every day, but I've had a lot more time to just sit and just like stare at the computer. Where like most of the other times, I had a little bit more stuff to do, I guess. But this has been a really brutal bear market. Um, but you know, and I don't know. It's just like I'm always so perma bullish on everything. And so, yeah,
Yeah.
this bear market has been really rough, but I am still ultra bullish. I mean, guys, Bitcoin is at all-time highs, and the market basically thinks that we got 2 years to go. You
Yeah.
know, Q4 2025 should be the blow off top. And we're at all-time highs in Bitcoin right now. And when Bitcoin rises, everything else rises.
Yeah, and tell these newbies about, like, people are like, how come Bitcoin's at all time high but Hex is still down? Tell them how it works.
I'll tell you, you filthy little newbies.
Yeah, listen up.
It's because Richard wants it down, all right? That might be counterintuitive, but we're shaking out some weak hands. We're
But,
shaking out a lot of haters.
but also, the alts come later.
Yeah. I think probably what happens is that as Bitcoin and Ethereum start really topping, I think the OA, they just put a lot of money into ETH. So as that thing starts like tipping up around probably $5, $6, $7,000 each, I bet you a lot of that money is going to just start flowing into the Pulse chain.
Yeah. Also, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You saw my list?
Dude, that's a sweet list.
You like that list? There's nothing to worry about anymore. Like, that money is moving.
Nothing to worry about. Yeah.
Just like go grab a beer and hopefully you dollar cost average. If you know what, you should worry if you in this entire time have been spending your money on hookers and blow instead of accumulating, you should be worried because you have to
Oh
scramble
no.
now.
I
But
should be worried.
oh well, you've been
Just joking.
no, but if you've been doing the right thing, which is what I've been talking about every day on the show, and you've been talking about, it's time to relax.
The only thing I'm like really bummed about is that ratio of hex to ehex. Oh wait a minute. Let me refresh.
What is it, like 5 to 1 now or something?
Oh wow, it came back to earth. All right, thank God. It's 1 to 4.
Okay, 1 to 4.
Almost 4.2. But dude, like 30 minutes ago, maybe an hour ago, it was 1 to over 6.
Yeah.
Dude, I was like, jeez.
No, it sucks for you because you're an OG. You got some of that ETH stuff,
I
like
got I
millions
got
of
a
it.
whole bunch of EHEX. I got a lot of it relatively. I got a little bit, but I was kind of hoping that we would get a 1-to-1 ratio, and then I could kind of like maybe migrate some of
Rotate
it over to the Pulse chain.
it.
But at this point, I given up on the 1-to-1 ratio, and now I'm like, all right, now it's 1-to-2 ratio. That seems like a very fair deal. I'll tell you what, I'm just gonna wait until I think PHEX could get to $1, and then EHEX would be at 50 cents. I feel like that's very reasonable. But
I guess we'll see. But it is interesting because, like, for me to say this, it's not. It's a lot easier. But like you and like Motley and Wendy's, like Vince, you guys have stuff there. You guys really
Yeah,
did the right thing, I guess, at the expense of. It's like easy to say, oh, these OGs. It's like if I were in that position, would I say what I'm saying? I like to hope so, but
it's in my best interest to get all you plebs to be buying my EHEX bags. And I don't do that
yeah, see,
because I have integrity.
exactly.
I have integrity farms over on Pulsechain.
That's right. Thank you. We appreciate your integrity.
Thank
No,
you.
it is huge, honestly. No, but it is really doing what's best for your bags because I don't think people that were listening to and buying EX that are completely wrecked now. I don't think they're really happy and maybe they don't want to stay in this ecosystem anymore. It's like if we just tell the truth, the most people will come in. Like that's really the way to win is just to be honest and to be a mensch. That's really like you look at like Bitcoin in its early days. Like one of the big reasons why it was so successful is like look at those guys that were pitching it. Like they were really like professional, smart people. They didn't fight like Voorhees and Roger Veer. Like those guys were business. I think we have to emulate that. And I think we are.
Yeah. I'm a little bit of the hothead. I'm a little inflammatory,
Nah, you're
but
fine.
we got guys like you to even me out.
Yeah,
All right.
I made you look, like the peacemaker. It's a new beginning. It's now humble. I'm humble. I'm like Richard. I'm humble now.
No, honestly, I was listening to you, and you know, like you do sound like you've been humbled,
I really
and
have.
I think that's really awesome, and I really want to see more streams from you. Even if we got haters saying, "Oh, Furu," I don't care. I like you. I think
Appreciate
you
it. And I
I
really
think you
have been
talk.
humbled. You start off and like you get a following and you're young and like you get some of that dopamine. It's like, oh, he made fun. You don't know how to handle the clout, I guess. It's been a very big learning curve for me. It's definitely something I'd say. But
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
yeah. And
Uh,
I hope I get forgiven by the OGs. You like what I said about the OGs? Like the OGs are like, yeah, maybe they were wrong about EHEX, but the OGs made it. Like like yourself. Like the reason why we're here is because of the OGs. So I think they deserve our respect, irrespective of their opinion on EHEX. Like, and they have massive followings, which they deserve. So, what do you think about that?
yeah, yeah. Uh, OGs, baby.
Salute our OGs. A lot of
You
them are
know,
veterans too.
one
For
of what?
like a lot of them, like RG3 and Motley and hexologists, like they fought in the army too. They put themselves on the line. They put their life on the line while we were jerking around in the states. They deserve our
That's
respect.
that's true. Like RG3, he's been streaming since like the really early days.
Yeah,
Got to respect that.
he's a real soldier. Also, so he's a soldier.
Yeah. I'll tell you the truth. The way I kind of learned to be like a real RH maxi, no joke, was from RG3 and Hexa. Because the one thing I kind of like really, because I never served in the military, but one of the things I kind of like really saw between RG3 and Hexa, he's like, dude, we were both Marines. I got his back no matter what. I
Yeah,
know he has my back no matter what. And that kind of like showed me, I'm like, you know what? We need to have Richard's back
it's true.
no matter what. And that sounds a little cultish, and I totally get it. But I really truly believe Richard is a good dude. I don't think he means any harm at all. I find that a lot of the people that are really rough and gruff and kind of use, I don't know, they're just like, kind of upset people. They're just so frustrated that they just want to strangle you, but they're good people.
Yeah,
I don't know if that makes sense or not,
no, it
but
makes sense. And also,
like,
like Johnny, like people are saying he's stubborn, but like it's really that sort of stubbornness that brought Hex into fruition. Like the guy just didn't back down. And okay,
true.
like I don't maybe, but like appreciate it. I respect it. It's like that sort of thing that you need that got us here, and whether it comes around or not, I mean, it's cool. But
Yeah, I think I noticed like a pattern where, a lot of us, we make like an investment and then you get told by other people, hey, that's a shit investment. And you're like, oh, fuck you. I'm going to prove to you that this isn't a shit investment by digging my heels in deeper. And I kind of feel like maybe some of that same mindset happened when we are trying to tell people, hey, EHEX is like,
it's like they made the whole community, and then this like 27, 20, 25 year old at the time living in his mom's basement. At the time, not anymore, like comes in there, he's like, no, screw this guy.
see, I'm reading some of these comments. Pulse Nation carrying the torch for the OGs. I want to say shout out to my boys over at Pulse Nation. You guys, man, you guys are doing some great work. Crypto Wonder, freaking love that guy.
The Pulse Nation doesn't stop. Oh, and big shout out to Ben. What's up, Ben?
Dude, Ben Dubard, another great one.
He's
Furu's
on
a
the
great
call. Let's
dude.
see if he's
Plenty out there who owe him an apology. Good post today, bro. Flex 100. It's true. It's very true.
people have been
But
like saying like got to get Ben back on. Everyone missed the good old days with Ben. Got to bring that back. Sent him a link.
what's this post by Chris A? I
Chris A's
think
been posting a lot. This one,
the way Briz read that. I think RH wanted to give non believers time to get it wrong. He wants the true believers to win the most, especially those that want to make the world a better place with the gains that will come. In my opinion, I think Richard just gave everyone a year to get into the pulse chain. I think, in my opinion, I kind of feel like the prices of everything have been artificially held down. And, I know that's kind of bad to maybe say out loud, but I think it's for the best. You hold down the prices and you want to make the launch as fair as possible. And he did with the sacrifice, but then people still don't think the sacrifice is fair. So he kind of needs people to give people a whole year to get in. And so you keep the prices down just a little bit, you know, uh, and then eventually, when the time comes, boom, you're gonna
but the
start
time is
seeing.
here already. It's up. It's up a lot.
Yeah, no, the
And
prices
it's
are
like
great.
first like you don't realize, and then all of a sudden it's like whoa, and like we're in that not realizing it.
Yeah, I mean, I did great because I sacrificed, and I guess I sacrificed enough to get like a multiplier, and I'm above sack rates on all of my sacrifices.
Yeah, congrats.
So I'm super happy about that. And I know I understand some people on PulseX might still be under their sack rate. Probably close
Well,
to
not if they were DCAing.
true. Exactly. And you had a whole year to, average in lower prices. And now PulseX is at like 0.8 of sack rate. Let me check. 0.77 of sack rate. So, we're pretty, you should be in the green. Anyone?
You're in the green. And big shout out to Bob Stutz, patron. Thanks, Bob.
I have almost triple my sack now. Giovanni Lopez. That is awesome.
And have you been staking? Like, I'm looking at my staking ladder. I'm like, wow, it's nice.
Yeah, I've been staking. Oh man, did you see how much hex we got today on the Ethereum chain? Bro, it was a lot. It was like 11 hex per t-shirt.
That's pretty nuts. But
Yeah.
It's not worth so much, but still. I mean, for what it's worth, I still have my HEX stakes. They're not worth it.
Me too. Man, 2-to-1 sounds like a pretty good ratio now, huh? The only reason why I didn't convert everything over already is just because of those damn T-shares. I'm like, all right, I can understand if I move $1,000 of EHEX into PHEX, yeah, I'm getting less PHEX, but I'm still moving $1,000 over.
Yeah.
1,000 is 1,000, right? $1,000 of bricks versus $1,000 of feathers. So,
yeah.
So I'm like, but then I'm like, I'm looking at my T-shares. I'm like, man, if I bring these all over, I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna keep that value, but I'm losing half my T-shares. Now I'm only gonna get 20% of my T-shares. Actually, let's see, what is it? 1 to 4, 25%. I'll get 25% of my T-shares if I convert everything over now. What should I do? What should I do?
Fine, man. Okay, you're gonna be rich if you're not already. You're good.
I think I'm gonna make it.
I think
wag me, fellas. Wag me.
What's it called? Oh, you saw Crypto 7 also said it looks like the Furu boy was right.
Really?
Yeah, kudos to him, honestly. He gave it up to me.
Well,
I
good
was a little
job
hard.
on the
Maybe we're
recognition,
hard on each
Crypto
other, but
7.
mutual respect, but no more, no more of that. He's welcome on my stream anytime.
Yeah, I do remember you were getting a little feisty before your
it's a learning
hiatus.
curve. It's a learning curve.
No, totally. But I'm glad to have you back. I'm glad to have humbled Furu back. I think you're gonna do great.
Yeah, we're all humbled.
You're gonna do big things for the community.
I hope so. I think we're all humbled, really. But me more. I think it's been a huge learning curve. I appreciate your patience.
There's nothing more annoying than a Briz who's been told he was right. I'm gonna.
You were right.
Chad Donnerschwans.
Yeah, we're gonna get more streams. Okay, more to come. And guys, 4 people watching. Hit the like button, subscribe. I want to actually put in and thank you, Chad, the OG. Like he's been watching this since day one. I appreciate it. I want to put a link to your Twitter because we have so many people watching. I want to take advantage. Can I link your Twitter?
Here. Yeah, please. You can see the best memes on Pulsechain.
Best memes, best alpha. He's got everything in there.
Brizology.
Right here.
.twit.
Yeah, you got 4,619 followers.
I'm freaking popular, man.
Damn. What's going on? What's the secret sauce?
I don't know. I just try and follow as many other people but I got really tired after hitting that follow button 2,700 times. So,
There you go.
but yeah.
All right, man. You got any closing words? I think we'll wrap it up, guys. But hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll be back. So turn on the bell notification. But what are your closing thoughts on this whole thing?
It's been a really interesting day. Before earlier today, and let me just double check before I say it, so I want to make sure. Where is it at? Okay, all right. So before today, with our EHEX and PHEX bags, it was like basically 2 cents and 1 cent combined ratio of 3 cents. Now the ratios are basically 3 penny PHEX and half a penny EHEX. So we really didn't lose anything. I think the PHEX is a little bit down. I think it's at 0.27 because someone rage quit it. They're just like, you know what? Screw it all. I'm out of
I'll
here.
speculate who that is.
But my point was that like yesterday the combined weight was 3 cents, and then today the combined weight after the readjustment was like 3.5 cents. So I feel I feel good. I didn't lose any value. The value that left just shifted onto that one. So it sucks that the EHEX went down a little bit. Uh, I think it's going to have liquidity bonding to where when PHEX hits all time highs, I think it's going to drag up EHEX with it. And I think we're all going to be fine. Don't early in stake anything. And I don't want to tell anyone to migrate over their EHEX to PHEX at these ratios. I mean, it might get a little bit better, maybe 2 to 1 again. I don't know. But that said, we're gonna be fine. Don't worry about it. And just start accumulating HEX on the Pulsechain if you want to buy HEX. That's all I gotta say. Follow my boy Furu. He's been humbled.
It's been humbled.
And you know what? He was right. Fubu was right. Fubu did
We were
nothing
all right.
wrong.
It wasn't just me though. It was like you and Vince and Motley,
Basically, anyone with common sense.
Corey Geary, Ben. Yeah, it was a lot more people. I was just like the most vocal. I was like the punching bag. I was like the cannon fodder. I just came to the front and went crazy. But hey, it's good to be right. It's good to be on the winning team. And guess what? We're all on the winning team. Okay, we're all. If we're here now, we're on the winning team.
If you're on the Pulsechain, you're on the winning team.
It's been a hard 2 years, and we've been with you every step of the way. And now it's time to reap the rewards. So I'll see you guys in the next stream. Subscribe, like, bell notification, Brizology on Twitter, and have a great rest.
Furu Finance on Twitter.
Yeah, that too. Thanks, man.